Hello all, welcome to another webinar on Umbraco Technology Partners, where we, as always, try to inspire and connect solution partners with great tech services and software. My name is Jesper Lyngby. I'll be your host today, this being my first tech webinar as I joined Umbraco in May, heading tech partnerships. And I just want to say, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any ideas, specific suggestions for packages and tech partners, or just want to know more on Umbraco's ongoing plans. So today we're here to introduce our tech partner QBank, and we're so lucky that we are being joined by one of the founders, Uden, who will tell us more on the DAM product, the integration to Umbraco, and also do a demo if I'm not wrong. If you have any questions, there'll be a Q&A in the end. Just please write your questions in the chat. This webinar will last approximately 30 minutes. So otherwise, it may take longer. If you have many questions, please feel free. So take it from here, Human.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jesper, for the introduction. As Jesper mentioned, my name is Uten Soelzad, founder of QBank, and also working currently as a business development officer. And great. So QBank is a digital asset management tool headquartered in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden, and the tool has been developed since 2003. And today we have a customer base worldwide. And from the start, when we started developing QBank, our goal has been to make life easier for our user base to be able to distribute their assets digitally. And so with that said, the integrations and connectors to other tools have been always very important to us. So this is what the whole tool is all about, having a central storage area for all types of files. So there is no restriction on file types in QBank. From QBank, you can then set up different rules for how you want to distribute your assets. So I can say, whenever I publish my assets onto my website in Umbraco, I want the files to be converted into these 10 different formats, because those are the formats we're using there. And if I use them in Office, I might have a different set of rules or formats I want to use. And also, you can set rules for the naming of the files. So whenever you publish on your website, you might want to set a certain naming for a standard on your files, which are more SEO friendly, and when you use it on the intranet or elsewhere, or e-commerce, for instance, you might have a different naming standard. So those are the rules you can set whenever you are distributing your assets. And to make this easier, as I mentioned, we've done lots of integrations and connectors to other tools. And Umbraco is, of course, one of the most important integrations that we have currently. And these integrations and connectors can work in different ways. One way is that the administrators in QBank can make assets available in Umbraco, for instance, and then the users of Umbraco would be able to pull those approved assets from QBank within the interface of Umbraco, which I will show you soon. The other way of doing an integration is that QBank can push assets out to other tools, like we do with YouTube or MailChimp, for instance, or Marketo. So it's a different type of integration where we are pushing out assets instead of pulling from a third-party product. And one very important aspect for our clients is to get control of where the assets are being used. So as much as possible, we try to collect data from these tools about where assets are being used. So in case somebody uses an asset inside of Umbraco, for instance, you would be able to see that this person, colleague, has used this asset in this certain format on a certain web page. Or another colleague might have used this same asset in their PowerPoints, for instance. So you would get full access and control of where the assets are being used. Some of our clients, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a worldwide coverage with our clients all the way from Japan, working with Toyota, Lexus, and to some US-based clients. But most of our clients are located in Europe currently. So I would just like to take you through a case we have with SPX Flow, a US-based client. When they reached out to us a couple of years ago, they were building a new website in Umbraco, and they had chosen Umbraco as their main platform. And as soon as we started working with them, they realized the possibilities with QBank of integrating it with their other tools as well. So nowadays we have their creative teams working inside of QBank through our connectors with Photoshop, InDesign. They're using QBank to distribute their videos to YouTube, and we also have different media portals for different purposes. So they would have a content hub for their resellers, partners, and so on, for finding documents, product photos, and so on. We've also integrated QBank with their e-commerce platform, and currently we're running a project together with Templify to integrate QBank with their office tools. So again, it all started with their web project, but once they had all their assets in QBank, it was just easy to connect all these other tools. And having a central repository for all those assets and single source of truth has been their goal from day one. So, and all these integrations have made that possible. So I will start by doing a short demo of QBank now, and then I will show you the integration we have. The page that we have set up, the Umbraco instance we have set up for this demo is 7.12. That's what SPX Flow is running currently. So, but I just want to mention that the integration also works for version 8 of Umbraco, and soon also for version 9 of the platform. So this is QBank. So here is where the administrators of the tool would work. We have a tab system here with different tabs for different workspaces. Here's a dashboard where you can find some statistics from QBank and some news, and in case you have any tickets and so on. These widgets can of course be customized and updated. But the most important part of QBank is the library. Here's where you would find your approved and published assets. And to search for assets, you can search through our free text search here, which is Google-like. You also have a very advanced filter search here, where we can do nested search and add more and more filters to your search. This search that you see here, it searches within all the metadata you have in the tool. It can also search within documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, Word files. If there's a word mentioned there, it would find it. It can also search within audio and video files. So if I search for cloud, I would find this video from Umbraco, and the reason I'm finding this video is that the word cloud has been mentioned in this video. So, So, and as you can see, QBank can also generate these subtitles automatically based on that recognition of the audio. And these subtitles, not only they are searchable, you can also edit them and translate them into other languages. For instance, if I just want to get Danish translation of my subtitles, I can easily get that. Once I publish my video now to, for instance, YouTube or other channels, my website, I can make sure that these subtitles are following together with my video to those channels. As you can see, now I have the Danish translation of the subtitles available here. To upload content to QBank, you can just drag and drop a number of assets. And the first thing you need to do when you upload assets to QBank is to choose a category or a media type. These media types is something that are customized for our clients. So we don't have 2 clients today that have the same set of categories. And depending on the category you choose, you would get different metadata that you can add to your assets. And these metadata fields, they can be rich text, tagging like this. You can have predefined lists, you can have date fields, and so on. And the metadata fields can also follow the assets into Umbraco. So you might want to have alt text in different languages and so on. All this information would then be available for the users inside of Umbraco. Once an asset has been uploaded to QBank, I won't go through the entire uploading process, but they would end up in the uploaded area where you can find your assets that are not approved yet. And then you can have users with different access rights. Maybe you want some of the people to only get access to uploading, and then you have approvers and so on. So all of those workflows that you might want to add can be customized in QBank. And the access rights in QBank can also decide what kind of assets the users get access to. So you might have a global organization where you have, for instance, the users, editors in Europe shouldn't be able to see the assets that are uploaded from Asia. So all of that can be configured in the tool and making sure that everybody gets access to the right assets. Underneath the assets, you see some different icons. This icon indicates that this is a duplicate. So we have a duplicate warning of the assets in QBank. It's based on image recognition, so the files have to be exactly the same. Same goes with documents and videos, of course. And we can also add duplicate control on file names and so on as well, if a client would like to. You can also continue editing these assets. You can select the number of assets and add more metadata on them later through our multiple edits. So you can edit several assets at the same time, or you can just select one asset and tag it just that certain asset. In addition to that, QBank also has the possibility of image recognition. With the help of image recognition, we can, as you can see, we can detect text, we can detect suggest keywords, and QBank can also find out if there are faces or people on a certain photo. So if we, for instance, if we take this photo, you see that it says that it detected one face in the photo. And you can set up rules saying if there is a face detected on a photo, you need to get a consent from that person before you can publish this photo somewhere. And so we have the text detection on as I mentioned, on these assets as well. except for this, when it comes to AI, we also have the possibility for users to scan for external usages. So QBank can look on the web and see where this asset is being used, which web pages that are using this asset right now. And I get the results down here. So apparently this photo is used on umbraco.com. It should be here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's also being used on Facebook, for instance, LinkedIn, and so on. So it's on Umbraco's LinkedIn page. Should be here somewhere in the post. There it is. And as you can see, it can also recognize if the photo has been cropped. It can still appear here as external usage of that asset. And so the globes you see here underneath some of these images indicate that these assets are published, which means that I have made these assets available for different users. So in this case, you see that this photo is available both on my in-river PIM and my external web, for instance. If I just want to publish assets there, I can just drag and drop them onto those channels and they would get published there. If I want to publish my video on YouTube, I just drag and drop it there. And as you can see, my description and keywords would follow with the asset or a video onto YouTube. I can choose a playlist where I want to publish it and also the visibility of that. So, and of course, all of this would be tagged inside of QBank. So you would see, okay, this video is now available on YouTube. And if you would like to, QBank can also present you with some statistics, links, embed information from YouTube. So whenever, as I mentioned earlier, when you publish your assets from QBank onto other channels, that's when we create all these, can create all these different formats. So under administration here, we call these templates. You can see I have created some image, video, audio, document templates. And the templates might be that I want to convert my asset into a JPEG 1200 times 300. And then if I go to my publishing channels and choose my external web here, I see that I have connected these formats to my website. So whenever I publish assets onto Umbraco now, these are the formats that I can choose from inside of Umbraco, or these are the formats that are generated. Where the actual files, these converted files end up, it's up to the client if they want to put on our CDN or if they should be downloaded locally to Umbraco, so or a different CDN. But from within QBank, if you are using a CDN, no matter which CDN it is, you can check how QBank managed to crop those assets for you. So here is the different formats of that file, and I can choose to recrop and say I want this part of the image. And as soon as I hit the recrop button, all the web pages that are using this certain photo in that format would get updated. Not all the web pages, also other integrations that I might have with social media and so on, those would get updated as well in case it's possible. So this is one way of managing this, is that you would manage all the croppings and so on from QBank. If I click on my external web here now, I can see that I have published 571 assets in Umbraco. Now, if we log into my Umbraco site, you see that first of all, under settings, I would have set up which QBank I want to connect to and also which deployment site. So now I'm pointing towards the external web with these 571 assets as you can see. I can also say if I want to use a CDN, so if the file should be downloaded to Umbraco or not, basically. And also if I want to have any default image template or video template. So this is basically what's needed before you can get started. And inside of Umbraco, we have integrated QBank with different parts of the tool. So either you can add QBank as in the grid view. You can also see that we have integrated it into the rich text editor here, where you can add images, but also we have assets from QBank as document types. So you can choose multiple assets from QBank if you want to create a gallery or a single media from QBank. Now, these document types can be managed by you, and you can make sure that the user can only select a certain format from QBank. So let's say this is a news page, and here I can make sure that the user is only allowed to choose this template from QBank, which is the search listing 300 × 300. So basically, those templates that you could see connected here are the ones that would show up. So now if a user is trying to use a media here, they would only get it in this format, making sure that people cannot make a mistake choosing wrong format of an image here. Of course, this also has the possibility of creating those photos in different formats in case you have a responsive website. Down here, you can also see which metadata you can fetch from QBank. So here I've said that I want to fetch description and alt text for this certain single media type. But elsewhere, I might want to get some other metadata from QBank. So if we go back to a page and choose an asset from QBank, oh, sorry. There we go. Let's now, the window that opens up now is showing me all those 570 something photos that have been published here. Here I can do search, I can see my folders from QBank, I can even upload assets from here directly to QBank. And then once I've chosen an asset here, I can either crop it if I'm allowed to. This is something that you can set, or you can also just say use media. So let's just take this part of the photo. So now I have the photo added here, and as soon as I press on save and publish, Umbraco will now tell QBank that this photo has been available somewhere. Sorry, this is a demo page, so seems like I'm getting an error, but I should still see that information available here. There we go. Now you see the external usage has also been added on Umbraco demo site. So I see that less than a minute ago, the QBank demo users used a photo on this website. And it should be, oh, it didn't publish it yet. So it should pop up on this page then. Great. So, and of course, to add, this integration also works perfectly fine with documents and videos as well, if you would like to add PDFs or presentations and so on from QBank. And so basically the sbxflow.com page, all the assets you see here are from QBank in terms of photos, documents, videos, and so on. Great. So we've been just scratching on the surface for both QBank and the integration, but see we have some minutes left for the Q&A.
Thank you very much, and what a great presentation and great features. So there's let's dig into the questions. There's one question already from Jeffrey. How do you extract the subtitles out of the video? Do you use some kind of use of Asia function, or is it your own logic?
No, we are using Google's video AI for this, for extracting. We've done some benchmarking and found that Google was the best for extracting the subtitles from the audio.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. I have a question myself. Could you say a few words about pricing models, Uden?
Yes, so our pricing model is based on a project cost and a license cost. And the license cost depends on the number of administrators you have in QBank, the storage, and the integrations you would like to have with QBank. And also some of the modules like AI might be subject to additional costs, but those are the parameters that decide the license cost is the admin, storage, and integrations.
Cool. And there's I don't know if the answer from Jeffrey looks really impressive, by the way. Should be Umbraco core functionality. Well, who knows? Just another question from myself. Could you say something about what kind of regions where you are and the markets that you do well? Just to give our audience an idea of where you do most.
Yeah. So we have, of course, we are strongest on being located in Stockholm, Sweden. We're strongest in the European market, but currently we're seeing lots of growth in the US. So during the last year and a half, we've seen lots of growth over there, but we're still growing in Europe as well.
Yeah, I think you're doing more and more in Germany, if I'm not wrong. Is that true?
That's correct. That's correct. Yes, we're growing in the German market as well.
Always a tough market, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from attendees? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We've done a great presentation.
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Yeah, and again, thank you all for attending. This webinar is being recorded, so we will share it to everyone afterwards. And please, you can share it among colleagues too. It will always be shared on LinkedIn too, and YouTube. We aim to be back in September with another inspiring tech webinar. But until then, thank you all for attending. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, Jesper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.